day 8 and I'm in Grassmarket. I got up at literally the crack of noon today to go out on a flyering shift. Only a slight problem, we don't have any flyers left, so we wandered around trying to find a place that would print more. We eventually did, but they won't be here till tomorrow afternoon. And yeah, we managed to put up some of the big posters that we still had left over. However, that was pretty much all we were able to do. And then actually I went to go and see a show that was at the same venue as we are, which was pretty good actually. It was called Dirty Hands, and it was set in 1980s Northern Ireland, and was about the Troubles. And I thought, actually, yeah, very well done, very ably acted. It was a really tiny space, but they made it well, and yeah, definitely I would say 4 stars. It's not at all worth me going back to the flat at this point, so I'm just going to hang around here for a little while before my show starts. I'm also hoping to go and see Faustus, which there's a production of Faustus at the same venue that we're at. That's it over there. Which I'd quite like to see. It's a one-man show, which, yeah, that could be interesting. And the advantage of us being in that venue is that we only have to pay £1 to see the other shows that are on there. You gotta have some perks. Seriously?
It's one that everyone knows.
It is extremely ironic.
Can't think of the first line. 19. Old man, turn 98, won the lottery, and died the next day. It's a black fly in your Chardonnay. It's a death row pardon, 2 minutes too late. Isn't it odd? Don't you think? Like rain on your wedding day, it's a free ride when you've already paid. It's a good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? They say it was afraid to fly. He packed his suitcase, kissed his kids goodbye. He waited his whole damn life to take that flight. As the plane crashed down, he thought, well, isn't this nice? Isn't it ironic?
I was trying to win.
Yeah, I really do think it's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you've already paid. It's good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? It's a funny way of sneaking fun when you think everything's okay and never was your ride.
Now I got stopped because I found it.
Well, I'll take well, I'll use this other traffic jam when you're already late. Smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man in my dreams, and then meeting his beautiful wife. Isn't that realistic? Yeah. A little too ironic. Yeah, I really do think it's like rain on your wedding day. Free ride when you've already paid. It's good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? Like it's funny the way like it's a funny way.
Okay, it's several hours later now and we're heading back. How would you say our show went this evening?
As a show,
Yeah.
alright. We're still a little slow in the early scenes, and those gaps need to be addressed.
Yeah, you
Tensions in general are slightly below simmering, which is what they've been for most of the week.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fair to say that we're into like second week syndrome here, but on the whole I'd still say
And someone needs to tune their car.
yes, that it's still a fairly decent together show. Tonight was, I don't even think it really qualifies as an off night. It's just we haven't done it for a day.
Yeah, that does actually make a bit of a difference.
Yeah. So after our show, we took advantage of the fact that you only need to pay £1 to see anything else in the same venue, and we went to see a production, a one-man show of Faustus.
This might sound like it'd be quite difficult to do, and I've no doubt it was, but my goodness was it successful.
Yes, I mean, having seen a full cast production of Faustus before, this was obviously cut down, but it was extremely well done.
It was a whole multimedia experience. We learned later that the whole thing was done from one DVD hooked up to a projector, which meant that this fellow's timing was fantastic.
Yeah. He had to keep it all in the right time, otherwise it would go completely
Yeah, if one
wrong.
scene goes, everything else does.
Ouch.
So, for at the start of the play, you're opened to general darkness with the actor curled up almost fetally on the floor, surrounded by tape ribbons.
Yeah, and I kind of thought it looked like a straitjacket. And
Yeah, the way because he wears this lab coat throughout. Well, not throughout, but for most of it, he's a very minimalist set of props and costumes.
Yeah, and this lab coat becomes several different things.
Yeah,
It becomes
and at the start, it really does look like he's in a he's in a straight coat, because not least because he has his black shirt pulled up so that it partly covers his face, and a white cloth/hood covering the rest. So when he does finally stand up for the first time, you cannot see any features at all. But for the first 5 minutes, he doesn't even move, because on the background there are two white spots on black, like the view through a pair of binoculars, and the multimedia part of it projects onto those in two spheres, and you get this sort of interchange between God and the devil, and between the actor and himself just at the start, but that was actually quite cool, so I'm not going to talk about that.
yeah. But generally, it was extremely effective, an extremely effective telling of the story.
Yeah, which you would have thought would be quite difficult without more than one person.
I was thinking as a one-man show, it would have to be like lots and lots and lots of costume changes, or done extremely minimalist. But actually, you got all of the poignant plot points in there, and it was extremely well done. So
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, he did one. The show, if I had to describe the show in one word, it would be elegant.
Yeah.
He achieved a great deal with an absolute minimum of props, costume, accessories, and so on.
Yeah, even movement. at
Even
points.
movement. The movement in this show was brilliant. The guy must be very, very good at general theatrical movement.
Yeah.
And there's one part where he's facing off the 7 deadly sins, and it kind of almost seems like a dance track.
Yeah, almost. Anyway, marks out of 5, like stars?
You know what, I'm going to go all out on this and give this a 5 out of 5 myself.
Yeah, I would agree, actually. It's,
You know, you shouldn't give 5 out of 5s too freely, but no, it's on it, worth it.
no, absolutely. And there's obviously been a lot of work and a lot of skill gone into this production. So yeah, it definitely deserves 5 out of 5.
Unfortunately, by the time this is uploaded, you won't be able to see it at this show, but the chances are it's going to come back, it's going to tour, or it's going to come back to next year's Fringe. So if you get the opportunity, definitely see it there.
Yeah, look out for it. The guy's name was Callum.
Callum, and we'll find the poster at some point, so you
Or,
can actually have the full details, or they'll be in the comments section, or
I will
whatever
put
it
up
is.
I will put up an annotation now, hopefully with some kind of information about it.
We'll just say it goes here.
Yeah, over my face.
I've always wanted to do that in a YouTube video, where you just sort of point to something. In fact, I'm going to point to something now, so Sam can put something ridiculous over my face, and then it just appears.
You really need to get yourself a YouTube channel. You know
Yes,
that.
I do. I have one. I just don't use it because I don't know how to operate a camera.
Well, I'm operating one right now. How hard can it be?
Fair point. I actually have a camera. I need to get you alone at some point for terrible, terrible purposes, which is to say, to teach me how to use it.
Okay. Right, I'm going to cut now.
Thank God.